Well, I think we got liftoff. We got Mark.
Mark's trying to figure it out over there. It's all right, guys.
It's all good. We're gonna get it going. Mark's gonna join us. Welcome to a Good Friday episode of Sales Chatter. We are going to talk about gratitude, the wins and losses, and how we can use gratitude to actually enhance both our wins and our losses. To the HPLS podcast. Live, relevant, and high performance information, conversations, and education weekly. Jeff's rocking it this morning. I don't know if we're going to have our West Coast folks on Good Friday at 6 a.m. launch it up here.
Yeah,
Mark,
way too
so
early.
I think Jeff's Mark, my man. So
yes.
he's mocking Mark already this morning because Mark's internet was going.
Oh yeah, he was frozen. He was frozen, guys. He's trying to work on it. If he can join us, obviously we're gonna bring him in when he comes back. But yeah, I mean, there's our early morning.
You know what? I spoke too soon. We got
you
West Coast in the house. Yes. All right. Well, hey, you know what? Good Friday, everybody. Going to be a very kind of calm, cool, collected episode today. What we got here? Oh, let's go, guys. Let's get it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, hey, today's Good Friday. Probably very little sales going on. Most people are kind of, I could tell you just from all the emails and conversations I've been having over the last 2 days, there's going to be very, very, very few people in the office today, but we're here, we're live, and we're going to talk about wins and losses.
Yes.
East Coast, West Coast.
Midwest Madman is here. Welcome, Greg.
There we go. And Mark, it looks like you got your internet fixed.
I like that, Greg.
You know what? We're in the wheel to generate the power, or what's going on there, brother?
This is definitely a loss for the day, man. This is definitely a loss for the day.
Oh no!
So
you started with the loss.
So I got to tell you, we were just talking off air about nights where you just can't sleep. Y'all ever had them? And so I sent Mark a text yesterday at 1:20 a.m. Mark sends me back a text. I finally see it at 2 a.m. I send it back to him. I go, dude, are you actually up right now? Like, man, that's pretty cool. And I was up creating sequences and doing a whole bunch of stuff. And then Mark sends me one back at 5 and says, yeah, not only was I up then, now I'm up now doing something else. And it's funny because I'm up with the dogs and it's like, who sleeps? Can I get a hands up to see, actually tell me who actually sleeps when you're trying to just trying to create and get to that next level. Like boom, there he is. Jeff says, so in the comments, tell us, do you sleep like, or do you have those nights where you have all these amazing ideas of how you're going to change the world and you just stay up? Like your brain is, I know I use this analogy a lot, gentlemen, where you're like, Bruce Almighty, when he's like typing on the keyboard and his hands are going like a million miles a minute. Did anyone ever get that? Jeff says I do. Yeah, definitely.
I know you do, Jeff. You're too smart to stuff.
I'm actually sleeping right now. Yeah. I'm definitely sleeping right now.
You're slick,
you're not
brother.
talking, so I'm starting to wonder if you are sleeping over there.
This is a pre-recorded session, and I'm trying to anticipate and guessing what you guys might be asking me right now.
Yeah.
So Dan, I really did enjoy that weekend last time. Yes,
did
DJ.
You?
I did. No, I'm just messing with you.
Oh, okay, now I get it. Never mind. You just totally threw me off there. No.
Too tired for
this. You did. Lisa says, my brain doesn't stop. So true. So which one of y'all want to go first? Wins and losses. Talk to me. Tell me. Talk to the people out here.
Let's do it. So then the quicker that I get through this, the quicker I can get back to bed.
Yes, sir.
So that's gents, right. Apologies for the issues. Yeah, I'm going to start with the loss, leaving things to the last minute. Or literally the last second. So we have a sick 8-year-old in the house this morning. So and new puppies and all kinds of other crazy going on. And I'm forever thinking that I've got 20 things to do, and I can still do them all last second without any prep. Even though I know I've never ever successfully gotten through anything without prep. But my mind is still thinking there's this one time it might work. So yeah. So
it's like that the infamous golf swing. I'll fix it on the way down.
Brutal
fix it on the
honesty
way down.
with yourself is a huge victory, Mark. So I'm counting that as a victory for you.
There we go. So, what as we always say, right? Any losses or any negativity, we can try and find the positivity in it, right? So, so that's really my biggest and probably my only and major concern this week and loss is just right now. I was flying. I was really going to go right. Let's go through the wins, and then that's it. I'm done. There was no losses, but I've had to start with a loss. So, but this week, it's actually been another really good week. We've been continuing our quest of helping others, and off the back of that, we've been getting some good praise. It's tax week in the US, and so I have a few clients that are Brits. They're based here in the US, but they have their cash in the UK, and so we've been moving money from the UK to the US to fund their tax payments, and that's been a bit stressful for them. But we've been keeping them calm and showing and demonstrating that, you know what, this is not that complicated. It's fine. It's going to work, and it did. And so,
Mark, you actually have like a nurture. Sorry to interrupt, brother, but you actually have like a nurture side to your financing money movement. Like you actually have that kind of coaching, that nurturing side as well to your company, as well as just being an FX trader.
I'm glad you asked.
Yeah, I'd say like probably 90% of 95% of what we do really is advice and just discuss and just help.
Good for you, brother.
I mean, you always hope off the back of it that someone's going to say, "Oh, that's awesome. Now I'm going to use you." Yeah. But what you find is that more times than not, they'll turn around and go back to their bank or their current provider and beat them up and get what they deserve off the back of what we've given them. So, but you know what? I mean, we'll see that as a moral victory. It's not a financial one. Yes. I think we might have said this before, right? It's not going to pay the school fees, but
it's like almost every RFP a logistics salesperson has ever gotten into that where the RFP, you give the rates and it keeps their incumbents honest.
Yep. Where are the prices at? Well, this is where you need to be at, by the way.
So fully get that. That's why Zig Ziglar said you help enough people get what they want, you'll always get what you want.
Yeah.
Exactly that. Look, I mean, at the end of the day, and it's a bit cliche, but I put my head on the pillow of a night time and I feel pretty good about what we've done for the day. That might change, if we get evicted from our house because we're not paying the mortgage, then that's a different thing. But hopefully we won't ever get there. But that for us is it's been a good week from an advice perspective. Feeling energized despite being up till stupid hours in the morning and then getting up stupid hours as well. We're still feeling pumped, and for me, the testament to that is how you're feeling on a Friday. Are you looking forward to Monday on a Friday? And if you are, then you're probably doing something right in the office, or you hate your family and you don't want to be with them at the weekend. One of those is true. So, but for me, I'm definitely excited about Monday. And super excited about being with the family this weekend. In fact, my 8-year-old and I, we're going to go and see the New England Revolution on Saturday night, which is the professional soccer team here in the Boston region. So, and I'm taking one of his little buddies as well. So that should be awesome. There's some added stress there that I have to make sure I come home with 2 8-year-olds. And not just one.
I mean, don't they have those backpacks with leashes where you can just kind of attach them to your belt and then they can't run off too far? And then if they run off, they kind of do one of these because their legs come up from underneath it and they suck back.
I'm hitting the Apple store later on. I'm getting those, the discs. I'm just going to stick them everywhere.
Implant them with a tracker.
So I can, exactly. I can ping them and find them. But my biggest win of this week is I'm going to go with Mr. Jeff Dickinson. I caught up with that dude on Monday. My God, what a blast that was! I thought I was like energized. That guy's on a different level. Like it's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. And we're going to catch up a bit later on today as well. We're going to so we host a podcast ourselves at Green Shoots, and Jeff's going to be a guest a bit later on today for us. So
he'll be a good guest.
But so the thing that I really liked about Jeff was there's tons of things. I mean, like he has that level of energy, but he's a gentleman. Like he's well connected. He's willing to do more for others than he's expecting back in return. And like they're the type of individuals I want to hang out with because they like their beliefs align with ours. So it's phenomenal. So I'm really looking forward to it. And he's promised me he's going to be dressed up as something. when we meet up later on as well. So that's a little bit scary. I did promise him not, because it's our first date, I would be wearing a little sequin number. So I think he might
a little sequence, a little good one, yeah.
It's our first date. I got to dress up.
Are you going to shine the head?
Yeah.
So again, like late last night, I didn't get a chance to shave my head, so I'm feeling a bit disheveled in that regard. I'll be honest with you. So, all in a great week. Met some great people. Gave some great advice. Got some great feedback. Some great compliments. I'm an only child, so it's always about me. So when people turn around and say, "Oh, we really like what you're doing, Mark," that makes me feel good. That's sometimes better than than dollars coming in the door.
Mark, DJ and I were just talking last night, and we said last night, we have like the best audience on the planet, and everyone that watches the show is so like-minded, and it's like, just creating the show and doing it. I had a back and forth with Jeff yesterday on LinkedIn too, on DMs, and just seeing everybody's positivity and seeing how wonderful people are in our industry is a game changer. And they often say you're the sum of the 5 people you hang around most. And we like to think that with this show, we're hanging around like the best of the best.
Yes.
And it's pretty darn cool, man. It's pretty darn cool. Right. So, from a gratitude perspective, all of you watching and listening, thank you so much. This would not be successful without you. You are our clients. You are the people we help take care of. And without your, so here, let's go a step further. Without your continued support, without your comments, without the back and forth, this show becomes very dull. Yes. Like, as much as DJ and I might have energy and we might bring it, it's the comments, it's the back and forth, it's the communication, it's the community, it's the interaction, the collaboration. Like, I've gone to Jeff for hundreds of things. Jeff's come to me for hundreds of things. It's the collaboration. Like, this industry is so large, and people for decades have kept it so close to their chest. They're like, they're not going to give up this. They're not going to give it. It's like, guys, there's a piece of the pie for everyone. And these are the type of individuals that come and hang out with us every morning. We got West Coast that is that Lisa says it right. Well, that's why I spend my mornings with you guys.
Yeah. Right? Because thank you for showing up every day like you do, Lisa and Chad.
Huge. And I know Chad's on YouTube over there, and we've got it's awesome. Damon's joining in. Like, we have so many people. And here's the thing. The more we dive into this, DJ and I are having conversations with people that are saying, I listen to your show every day. And I'm like, comment, say something. They're like, I'm just going to stay in the background, but I love your show. I just wanted to tell you. And that's huge, right?
Yes.
So Jeff says wins.
There he is.
I was first one to say good morning on the best podcast 3 out of 5 days. What happened to my mouse here? My mouse just died. 3 out of 5 days. Losses, I missed 2 of them, and Lisa beat me. Another loss, $1 million check that I have to pay Mark for having me on his show. That guy is fucking expensive. I don't know what happened here. I apologize, y'all. My nose just stopped working.
I love it. You didn't need to bash. I think we've said fuck on this show a few times. No, just kidding.
Oh, there we go. Okay, got it. So I gotta hide this. Oh no, that is the end of his thing. He's effing expensive. So those are awesome wins and losses, and again, thank you everyone for being here with us.
Thank you for keeping Lisa on her toes. Now she's gonna have to try to beat you next week 5 for 5 just to bring it back. Yeah. So, Lisa, we want to see you next week.
And she don't back down from a challenge, y'all. So it's gonna be game on. It's gonna be game on. Yeah, it's gonna be hilarious. And so, DJ, did you want to go, or you said you wanted to go last, right?
Yeah, because you go.
You might have a little tearful issue that you're going to go through. So I get it. Kenneth says Mark is awesome. Can't wait for the collab.
That was enough. Sorry.
Oh, Jeff says no way.
I do apologize. I also caught up with Kenneth earlier on this week as well, but we're going to have hopefully a bit more of an in-depth meeting next week. So he'll be my win next time we get
next week. Next week. Okay, well, that's a good way to call it. That's a total Babe Ruth
future
right
win.
There, you're just like, there's my win.
He's calling his shot. Yeah, Kenneth. Yeah. He just put you on the spot. We need to hear a good story then in 2 weeks about this meeting.
There you go. Challenge accepted, Jeff. Now it's on like Donkey Kong, baby. Yes, sir. Bring it on. Okay, so wins. I'll start with the wins. This week, I have a special project going on that I know some of you know about. I'll tell you, I wrote the biggest check of my life that I've ever wrote this week, and it feels so good. Just to have something that's been a dream for a decade to finally start to like it was like, you know, when you have it and it's like you almost hope, I hope this isn't like a fleeting thought and then for a decade it kind of turns, and then all of a sudden this one moment, this one inspiration, you know, I and in my head, and I know you guys are gonna laugh, but in my head I keep going back. If you had one shot, one opportunity, to right, Eminem, would you let it slip? And it's like no, I'm not. And it was like to write that check and write the check to send the wire was one of, I mean, it sunk my stomach right out my arse, because I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a hell of a lot of money. But as soon as it sent and they said it's gone, I'm like, oh boy, now and it's like I haven't slept since. I think I've had 4 hours of sleep in like 3 days. It's crazy, but it's like it doesn't matter. I'm so energized. I'm so pumped, and I'm gonna share more in the coming weeks. But just unbelievable to see something a decade in the works come to fruition. And for me, there's no win that's going to top that. I have multiple other wins, setting up multiple things for different people that I work with and that I'm working for and helping them. Big win was Wednesday's call with Dean. Huge information processing that actually took that information that day, put it down in front of students, and those students have changed their customers' lives by doing that. So seeing how that data translates into actual results instantly was so amazing. From a losses perspective, I actually 2 days this week. One day I wasn't able to do my inception calls because I just had so much going on. And it's funny, Mark, when you said you try and cram so many things into such a short period of time and thinking I'm going to get it all done, that was me Tuesday and Wednesday. And I tried to cram everything in, and I feel like I let the inception students down. We did a show yesterday, but we're not doing one today because it's Good Friday. And then I'm on vacation next week. So I won't be doing the inception Q&A calls. I'll be doing the show every morning from the resort, but I won't be doing the inception calls. So my loss for me is I kind of feel like I let my community down. I let my students down by not giving them that twice a week kind of motivation, inspiration, dedication, and re-engaging them. So for me, that was a loss. And I need to get better at it, because I need to stop putting so much in a day. But as a high performer, you guys both know, and everybody watching and listening probably get this as well, that it's you want to get so much done, and you have so many things that you want to get done. And it's something outside of us that drives us, right? Like, I don't know if you guys feel the same, but for me, I don't have motivation. I have inspiration. And the inspiration pulls me to the finish line. Whereas I find motivation is me pushing myself to the finish line. Inspiration pulls me. And every one of my students, everyone that comes and says, hey, you got 5 minutes of time. And I'm like, yes. And there's a certain point where you don't have 5 minutes, but I say yes anyways, because I don't want to let them down, because they are the ones that are dedicated to the next level results. Does that make sense? And I've always been somebody that wants to help themselves. Like, if somebody doesn't want to help themselves, I tend to veer off pretty quick, because I do believe that in order for somebody to help you, you have to have that desire to help yourself. So there's always that initial, put some skin in the game, start the process, and then let's talk, right?
And Dan, sorry, I don't want to interrupt your momentum. Oh, man. Like, just jumping in, but at the same time, you can't be all things to all people.
I know.
At the end of the day, right? I mean, you can only do what you can do. And so I 100% know where you're coming from. And it's easy to give advice. I can't take my own advice, right? So
that's very typical for a lot of people, though, brother.
Right? But think about that for a second. Right? If you're constantly saying yes, you could. There is a danger that you might dilute the information and the dedication and the time that you're spending with those. So either say yes, you say yes to 100 people and they're going to get little bits of you, or just say yes to 10 and get 10 real quality conversations that 10 people can really go away and change the world, rather than 100 people like taking, something and feeling good, but it's just
quality versus quantity.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So then let me,
I love
can
John.
I ask you guys this then? When people need your help, even if it's just 5 minutes, I mean, they get my undivided attention, but even if it's just 5 minutes, that can be life-changing for some people, because they could be in a spot where just something you say, and that's how my head works, is I'm like, I had a call from a student. He says, listen, can you just help me with something? And I'm like, and I'm looking at my schedule and I'm like, okay, yeah, I could fit it in here. And I was a little abrupt with him, because he started talking. I'm like, listen, I only have 20 minutes. Let's get to the meat and potatoes. And it's like, but I needed to help.
Yeah.
And sometimes everything around it's just like, okay, what's the nucleus of the issue? Let's dive into it. Let's hit it head on. Let's take a sledgehammer and hit that nail, screw the hammer, like slam this mother to the earth. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I kind of felt a little abrupt, and then I was like, okay, so I'm looking at the time, and I'm like, okay, well, then I'll go a little bit further, and I'll take, because for me, I put free time into my schedule, like where if I want to do nothing, if I want to lie on the floor with the dogs, I lie on the floor with the dogs. If I want to read a book, or if I want to read a chapter, if I want to go outside and just stand outside and kind of enjoy the sun for the first time in 7 months because of winter, I do it, right? And so it's not as if I'm pushing one meeting for another one. Like even last night, one of my students was like, okay, what about this? And it was like almost 9 o'clock at night. I'm like, listen, let's just do a call now, because when tomorrow hits, like I won't be able to do it. So if you got time now, let's do it. Yeah. But you understand, right? Like my microphone is right here. I can't put anything in that spot until I move my microphone. So what got moved? A little bit of family time. You know what I mean? And it's that for me is that balancing act, that teeter-totter.
I think that's always and forever will be a high performance balancing act. Because you obviously your why, your family time, all of those things, but we have goals. We're constantly setting the
things
next
we want to go after.
The next,
Lisa says, made it official. Yeah.
John, I love
challenge accepted. Kenneth says, pressure is on. John says, you feel like you let us down, but if you're unable to recharge, we won't have you long term. Those who recognize your value to others support you. Thanks, John. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that, man.
Absolutely nailed it.
I appreciate that. So those for me are the wins and losses. Mark, when you were saying you put so much into a day and you got to really, like for me, that's going to be the second thing to work on. Another loss is I haven't got my article writing job back just yet. I wrote a few articles, still a few tweaks. So I'm again back at it, getting better and better. Mark, you weren't here, but I for years I've been wanting to write for like top level logistics magazines and all this, and got the opportunity, started writing. But man, I write so different than what they were looking for. So I've had to kind of retrain myself on how to write, which is it's actually right. I don't know if anyone's ever done it before, but so difficult. Like, because we as creators, we write about things we love, right? And we write about it in a certain format. And it's like on my blog, I write as Dan. I don't write as a writer. And it's like I'm learning so much about writing for SEO and writing for keywords and everything. I'm like, but how do I? And it's like, okay, here's the keyword. You got to put it in this many things. But I'm like, but it don't fit. So you got to reorganize the entire structure of the message to make the keywords fit. And I'm like, but I'm not writing for a keyword. I'm writing for the message. I'm writing for the end result. And it's like, no, you're actually writing for the keyword. And then you're writing for people that aren't necessarily at the level of education and experiencing it. I'm like, oh my God. Like, it's crazy. It's insane. It's insane. But Lisa says, yes, we understand. Go enjoy your time next week with your family. No, we're going to be here every day.
Oh yeah.
Every day we're going to be here. We're going to be here. Wins and lessons.
Yes, Valerie, can't wait to have you on.
Good. Yes. Nothing beats opportunity to mentor, coach an individual and get them to the next level. Nothing wrong with dropping everything to that. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that wholeheartedly. All right, DJ.
Man. So you touched on.
It's your turn. You kind of you sat in the background. Now it's time to go to the front row.
Like you always do, Dan. So I got to start with you. But you always do. You set it up so perfectly without even setting it up or knowing that you're setting it up. But you said a few things that I want to touch on, and then I guess go into my wins and losses. But you mentioned motivation, and you more are inspired. The inspiration is what drives you. I think, in my opinion, motivation is temporary. Inspiration is infinite. I think when we are truly inspired by something, nothing will stop us.
No. And that's when you kind of blast through mountains. That's when. Yeah. Like when you're inspired by something, and this, I learned this from Wayne Dyer years ago. He actually has a personal development course called Inspiration. And he talks about, he says, like, you ever sit down and 9 hours go by and it feels like this? He goes, that's the definition of inspiration.
Yes.
Right? Yes. Like powerful. We've all been there. We've all been there.
Yes.
Sorry, DJ,
go. Find it. But and so yes, thank you for saying that. Also, you said about how higher powers, and that's where my wins are going to go. And I'm not going to get too crazy, but I'll go with my loss first. My big loss really was missing the show on Wednesday. I got to watch it back, and it was so amazing. I got to come in the end, so thank you guys. Thank you, Dan, for letting me in, just to pop in and leave my quote. Missing that amazing information from Dean was great. So
incredible. Wednesday was insane.
It was insane. Yeah. Dean has been a blessing. Mark coming on, and again, just thank you to everybody out there. But losses, I will have to say, I'm not gonna. There was no other big losses besides that this week. This week has been ever since Saturday. Saturday has been my win. It's been my win. It will probably be my win, maybe forever. But Saturday, if anybody, again, I'm not very. I am very obviously spiritual, very deep, but I'm not very. I'm not gonna. One religion versus the other. There's a higher power, whether it's God, whether it's whatever God you think, whatever higher power you believe in. If it's just you are your higher power, whatever it is, there is. And I could tell you from my experience on Saturday, it was crazy. So I'll tell you, just met somebody. I'm not going to give names or give too much details, but just kind of the background of the story. So met this lady, again, about you reaching out to your student and just taking that 5 minutes. This was a lady that just happened to, I've seen a few times say hi, but never really talked to. Something drew her to me, and I wasn't even supposed to be there. And that's what was crazy. But so she talked to me, and this was a few weeks ago, telling me the struggles she was dealing with. And now there's nothing I could do except I just happened to be dealing with things. That was Wednesday, with court and lawyers and those kind of things, which are not fun. But and so just referred her to the lawyer that I was working with, who gave me some advice. And this poor lady, no money and all this crazy situation, she goes on, and she's so like, I'm so devastated. Like I could help, wanting to help her more, but all I could do was give her a name. And so it drove me crazy that all I could do was give her a name and not really. And then and so she ended up doing the consultation, seeing her Saturday. She broke down crying, hugged me. I don't even know this lady. And she says, you saved my life. You saved my marriage. I don't know what I was going to do. I was going to have to move back. All this, like just from you are an angel. God sent you. You are an angel. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, holy cow. Like just to hear that was like, it was like, oh my goodness. Like I walked away and I didn't know what to say. And I'm like, and I mean, even like right now, my heart is racing. And so I get in the car because then I'm having, again, like Dan and like us high performers do, stacking too much. So my day was packed and I was already behind. And so I'm living high on this, but like having to bust ass somewhere else. And Maggie, my wife, who you guys see mentioning here, I did run it by her. Okay to share this. So she is dealing with a totally different situation at the same time. Again, long story short, but in the exact same moments, she has our two kids, 5 and 2. Maggie is very, very nervous around extreme situations. So she will panic easily. And so I knew when she texted me, can you hurry up and send this? My card's not working. I don't have any other cards. I'm checking out and the kids are going crazy. And I'm like, oh no, I know exactly what she's going through. but I just had this amazing thing happen to me. So I'm like riding high, but I know exactly what she's going through. Well, then she calls me after her event, and that was where it was the higher power. If you want to know, things happen
on both sides.
On both sides, it was happening instantly. This girl, this 16-year-old girl who was the cashier, shout out to whoever this is, this amazing 16-year-old girl at Mark's. She was at Mark's. She's seen the panic in Maggie. Maggie's seen the panic, and she was building a line, and was getting panicked. So this girl paid for the stuff while she was just trying to get the money. So Maggie obviously gave her more than what it was, but like they broke down crying, and Maggie's not that person to do anything in public like that. So to hear that story that they don't then. And she tells me that while this lady tells me that God sent me and I'm an angel. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, this is crazy. So if you guys want to test to it that there is a higher power, that Good Friday is something, that all of this is something more, that is your story. Take it. I promise you it's real. Just do good.
Wow.
Just do good. So yeah,
you did good there, DJ. I actually thought you were going to break down.
I was going to cry.
You did good, brother. You did good.
My heart was racing. I've cried a few times telling that story. So thank you, Dan, for letting me go last. That's why I did go last.
You're out of tears. They're gone now. You've cried too many. You cried too many times. And I was. DJ, so just so everybody knows, before we got on air, DJ says, "Hey, would you mind if I went last? Because just in case, like it's Niagara Falls coming out of my eyes here." He goes, "I want to make sure I go last."
I'm telling you, that story will never. That will live with me forever. So yeah,
1000%.
It's
so
real, guys.
I got to ask Valerie a question here, because I would love if we could use that wins and lessons for Friday instead of wins and losses.
Yes.
So that is awesome, Valerie. So I think I hope you're okay with it, because we're gonna steal that one. we're gonna take that one all the way. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So thank you. Thank you, DJ. Thank you for sharing that, brother. That was
of course,
was awesome.
Of course, thank you for that.
So
thank you for that.
Good Friday. Y'all go have a fantastic long weekend. Enjoy yourselves. I know for us, it is a beautiful weekend coming our way. Grass is finally starting to turn green. Everything's now I got to go clean up the yard for 9 hours, but it's all good. We got it going. DJ, did you get a quote that kind of knew would be turning this way, or how's your intuition today, my friend?
Well, we'll see, but Valerie, thank you for the shout out. It
came from DJ, so yes.
Right. I didn't want to take. Yes, I used it a few times on our post, wins and lessons instead of wins and losses. So,
brother, what are you doing, man? You should have brought that to the.
Listen, I saved.
I'm giving it to Valerie. You didn't bring it up, so I'm giving it to Valerie. Go ahead.
But yes. So anyways, thank you guys. Thank you everybody. Thank you, Valerie, for joining us and for sharing that and for giving me the props. Yeah, I will still give you the props for making it known on the show. So thank you, Valerie. But thank you to Daman. Thank you to
hold on. Time out. Who here thinks DJ needs to step up when he has these awesome ideas? Because I do. You don't get that, brother. That is gold, man. Wins and lessons, that is gold. It's like everything we talk about on Fridays. Where's the lesson? Where's the lesson? Where's the education? Where's the peace? Where's the higher power? Bring it forward, brother. Everybody's going to come now saying, DJ, start. Yeah. I'm grateful for Dan providing Antoine with a new level of confidence. Oh, thanks, Kenneth.
I love it.
He is an amazing man. And you know what?
Yes. Kenneth, you can tell his motivation by his determination of being on here daily and doing everything he's doing. So you found a great one there for sure.
Yeah. Jeff says, boom. That's a boom right there. That's a boom if I've ever seen a boom before.
I'll start dropping every crazy idea.
Dropping those bombs, brother.
But thank you guys again. Thank you everybody watching. If you want to start your day right with us, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, Sales Chatter Live. Like and subscribe down below if you are watching this on Sales Chatter Live YouTube channel or Dan Deegan YouTube channel. Again, follow us on LinkedIn to see when we are live next. Mark, thank you for just being here, especially with what I know you're dealing with. Hopefully your son feels better soon.
And, I hope they feel better by tomorrow, or else it's going to be an interesting game. But you know what? They'll always feel better just before the game.
That's right.
Kids always do.
Kids are sick when they need to go to school, but they feel better when it's time to play. Listen,
it's Friday night. They're like, "Hey, I'm good now. I'm good now.
I feel better all of a sudden."
It was a 7-hour cold. Is that what it was? It was a 7-hour cold.
Sorry, kids, we called you out there. Happy Easter, yes, happy Easter, Jeff. Have a great weekend, everybody. My quote to take us out, it is not by anybody, but I just love the words. And again, thank you to every kindness and everything shared today. Kindness is not an act. Remember that, guys. Kindness is not an act. It's a reflection of your soul.
Deep.
To the HPLS podcast. Live, relevant, and high performance information, conversations, and education.